And that's that, you know, like I feed that what they need in that as well. Like I'm gonna do something. Yo, I got a podcast. I got Snoop, and then, you know, this dude's working for fucking Waste Management. He's like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna go and hang out with Snoop. Like, oh shit, now I'm hanging out with Snoop.
It's like 1 minute you just chilling on the block, next minute you're surrounded by all these celebrities and stuff
everybody,
like that.
We all serve a purpose for each other, you know?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good look. And that's a model that should actually be maybe copied amongst a lot of other groups, man, because this hating nonsense is crazy, you know, especially when it comes to your own people, man. Find yourself something to do, man. You start feeling a certain way, look into yourself, man, and find something to do, man. You know what I mean? So, E, not only do you have Drink Champs podcast, you have other podcasters too.
Right.
Right. You want to go ahead and just give us the names of those other podcasters?
I mean, I have I work out at a CrossFit gym, and I have some friends that we drink a lot of beer as well. So we do a thing called Beer Fest Fridays.
Shout out to Beer
They're
Fest
actual
Fridays.
real CrossFitters. I just go there, sweat. I sweat. I de-stress. That's what I call it. I de-stress.
You the watcher.
You know,
you sweat a little
I
bit.
do a half a
watch
squat.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I do one burpee. And so, you know,
It's
jumping jack,
man. It's too hard for me.
One jumping jack.
I tried. I got about 2 days in.
I do it religiously,
You got
man.
crossed out, niggas. You got crossed out.
I salute him. I'm
Yeah.
out.
So we do that.
I'll walk the rest of the way.
Me and Boris got one called Lost in Translations for obvious reasons. English is his first language, and he's learning, kind of the American way, you know. So we'll clown and joke about all these things, and I'll ask him all kinds of questions about current events and shit. It's mad funny. I got other smaller podcasts from my site, Crazy Hood. We got Family Ties.
You got Fatherhood.
We got Fatherhood is my most consistent outside of Drink Champs.
Okay, cool.
So as soon as I became a father,
What's that platform?
What is
About being a father?
It's about fathers within. I mean, it sounds to me kind of corny to say, like, from the hip hop perspective, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that within hip hop culture, fathers have gotten a bad rap. You know, and so as soon as I knew I was gonna become a father, I was talking to my other homies that are fathers, and all my friends have been fathers since we were kids, and just asking for advice. And then I was like, man, this should be a podcast. And then now we started having guests like Bum B talking about being a grandfather. Wow. We had Angie Martinez talking about raising boys in the Me Too movement. Gotcha. We had like different artists from the culture come in and talk, and then we just talk just really openly. And people, like, we had Smoke Dizza. I don't know if you know about that artist. He Smoke Dizza. He talking about he has an autistic kid, and so people open up, and we had Royce the 5'9". Same thing, like people just open up talking about being parents, which is something that there's not that many outlets for that in hip hop.
Yeah, it's not, man.
You know, and I think that it serves its purpose. It definitely helps me and my friends that do it. It's like therapy for us. And every time we have a guest on, they're like, man, that was fucking great. I never talked about none of that shit before. With nobody. And so fatherhood is something that I'm really proud of, and it's the most consistent one I'm doing outside of Drink Champs. The other ones are just ancillary things that I'm doing just because I have a website and I just like to keep feeding it content and shit.
Excellent.
And how long you been doing fatherhoods?
For as long as my daughter's about to be 2. No, she's 2. Yeah. So I would say we've been doing it for 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
Man. It's crazy. So how do you balance all this out, man? How do you balance out
real,
fatherhood?
man, like straight up.
It's not easy.
Like,
No, it's tough right now.
Chance, the
and
podcast.
fitting in CrossFit, brother.
And CrossFit.
Listen,
Chris Cross.
CrossFit, outside of alcohol that I like, CrossFit's the only thing that really helps me de-stress. Like, I have to do it. I have to put myself through some kind of, physical exercise stress to de-stress, if that makes sense.
I got you.
And even though I'm not a fucking athlete by no means, I'll go in there and I'll put in my time. But when I walk out on my endorphins and I'm feeling good and I'm like, I felt like I could go compete. Definitely can. But I need it, man. Like it's like my Xanax, let's put it that way. Instead of taking some kind of pill or drug.
Right.
But having the kids now has really changed my whole lifestyle. I'm still figuring it out. I got a 3-month now too.
Right. Congratulations on that too.
Boys, I have my boy and I have my girl. I'm done. No, I'm done. I was done with one, but I'm an only child and my girl's the only child, and we were like, nah, we need to bring in someone.
You know what it
for my
was.
daughter.
You know what it felt like.
Yeah, we.
Got you.
So yeah, man, it's tough. The time management right now has been the most difficult part because they're so young, and I want to be so present because my father wasn't that present in my life, and I'm trying to be the opposite of that.
Gotcha.
That's universal in our community.
Yeah.
They might have been around, but they wasn't involved.
Yeah.
And that could be deficient too.
For sure.
Yeah, that cause deficiencies too, bro.
Yeah. Definitely causes issues as we grow up.
A lot. And we're trying to break cycles here.
Yeah, that's true.
Which isn't easy, you know what I'm saying? We're all fighting our internal fights,
Even myself, I'm a father too. I got 2. I got a boy and a girl. I have a 13-year-old and I got a 9-year-old. My son is the oldest one. He's 13. My daughter, she's 9. And even so with them, man, I find myself trying to break the cycle of how my parents raised me to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Because I found myself doing certain things, and even more of a negative way, that how my mother had an impact on me, you know? So I try to catch these things because I don't want to go ahead and transfer that energy or transfer that learning or that teaching to my young ones. You know what I mean? So when you said breaking the cycle as us being parents, that's important. You know what I mean? You got to evaluate how you raise kids and how
You just
and
need
how
to
you
be
bring them up.
self-aware.
Self-awareness.
So that you know what
That's
you're
right.
doing. Sometimes you on automatic.
That's right.
And you're doing things just because this is how it was. You got to see it for what it really is and say, no, that ain't what it need to be.
Right.
You feel me? That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
You're digging deep into a point of excellence for your kid. That's good, man.
I hope so, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying. I'm
got
definitely
to
trying.
push them ahead of your values.
Yeah.
Right.
Push them way past it.
And I feel like it starts when they babies,
Oh yeah, man.
because
Because you'll lose them at a certain point.
and not just that, if there's a lot of tension or you're not present, they might not remember it, but internally, subconsciously,
Yeah,
it's
some
there.
things will be set in stone in
Yeah.
their bodies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? Raising our kids to prepare for this world, right? I mean, we're going through it. We've been through it. Yeah. We've seen a lot, been through a lot.
This shit is unpreparable.
It's crazy. And that's the thing. That there's I don't care how many books they write on parenting,
Nah,
on
man.
parenthood.
No,
that shit doesn't matter, bro.
I think the most
Doesn't matter.
important thing is being present
Yeah.
and active.
Yep.
Other than that, this world here, man, is a whole new level.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of these kids are lost, man, so we got to try to guide them as parents the best way we can,
That's it.
Try to minimize this, of them being statistics. So listen, man,
Let me find out this fatherhood's right now.
fatherhood.
I'm taking notes, man.
So how can
I'm
so
taking
fatherhood
notes.
is that being your baby? So how do the listeners get to fatherhood? So how do they tap onto that? How do they?
I mean, they
wanna
could
listen to that?
they could check it out
What you got?
wherever they find podcasts.
Dive and then turn it to a
And
belly
fatherhoodspod.com.
Fatherhood's
But
Pod.
but Apple Podcasts, wherever they find podcasts, you find fatherhood.
Find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good for you, brother. I appreciate that. That's that helps us out, man.
Yeah.
No, seriously,
a good
like,
look.
Good to hear that. That's a common thing we all need to all be vested
I know
in.
I'm a newly married person for like a
Oh,
year.
Congrats.
Still practicing working on creating a baby. So when that does happen, I'm taking these
boy.
notes, these nuggets.
He's
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Because,
He's in
man,
practice
Listen,
stage.
man.
yeah,
What's the
I'm still
problem?
in the practice stage.
Nah,
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
You got to keep swinging, brother.
Also got to give a shout out to Red Riding Hood, Camille Brown, out there. She came through the people out the podcast. More support. So if you need some expertise or some advice on what you just said, talk to the young lady out there. She could probably help you.
Bet, man. Bet.
Well, so
No, I think you just need some more beer.
more liquor.
Go to work, brother.
Listen, bro, you should be having no problems down there, Keith.
Have a michelada right before he
Just burn it
spice
up.
of the night.
Do something, brother. Do something.
Gotta do it.
Viagra.
Cats who
You don't
been
have
in it.
to come on to the mic so much.
Right.
You're
This-
good right there, my
There's some
brother.
guys
That's
who,
boys, by
who
the
ain't
way.
tried
I
to
don't know
hit.
what that is.
You trying to miss. That don't make no sense, bro. Some people got pregnant blind.
That shit was surprised.
You-
Somebody woke up Monday morning, surprise.
Damn, you
Damn.
your kid.
What's your name again?
Exactly. So it's
that's
gotta
cool.
work, bro. Keep working on it.
But that's what it is, man. I mean, we're here. We're still, we're all here having fun, having major discussions. We went from podcast discussions to kids and all the other great things.
Part of it, man.
So this is part of life. This is life, I mean, the overall is to be able to balance your career with your family. And that's basically what it comes down to. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't want to lose both, right? You don't want to put too much on one side and then the scale tips over and you end up losing that. Or you put too much weight on the other side and the other side's tip over.
Well, some people don't have the luxury of having
because
choice.
because sometimes you're obligated by contract, and it can eat you up. And the desire to be successful can eat you up. Some people need it in order to feel worth. You feel me? So you just got to know who you are.
Yeah,
Be
man.
self-aware.
Yep.
If your kids matter more, make sure they know that. If your career matter more, let them know that.
To know that too, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That way you know them kids ain't gonna be traumatized asking you. You told us.
That's true.
Right.
You feel me?
I guess being honesty, right? Open up with the kids now. I mean, they're at the age where you can
Listen.
just speak to them and,
I've heard athletes say it more than I've heard entertainers say it. Because you're right. Entertainers don't discuss their families.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I've heard athletes say it that I missed a lot of time with them trying to be successful and being the best in this game. A lot of them said that at the end.
Yep.
A lot. Said, man, I'm trying to get to know my family. I said, how are you trying to get to know you? Well, because I was playing every day, practicing,
Training,
keeping my body right. And come to find out, by the time they retire, they don't know their own family.
Right.
Yeah, guys, we got to think about, man, life is too fucking short.
Too
man.
short.
It's just
too
fast
short.
as hell, man. I'm
You
like,
fixated
damn.
on something before you know it, life is about to be a wrap.
Yeah, man.
And then your kids is grown and like
That's
all
what I
that
said.
shit.
Yeah.
Especially now, time is moving
You don't
fast.
see them early, boy, you lose them. You don't see it early, you lose them.
Yeah.
You feel me? And once they gone, hard to bring them back.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys seen that Quincy Jones documentary on Netflix yet?
It came out a while ago, though, right?
Yeah. Man, that thing is good.
Yeah.
So one thing that I took from that, besides his crazy career in music, he said, you are guaranteed 29,000 days on this earth. He is going to make sure every day counts. 29,000. Put that in perspective. That's not even a lot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like from the day you're born to the day you possibly die, that's like 80 years or something like that.
That's
like
what it's equivalent to.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like it's crazy. So like every day, you should just be pushing towards something that makes sense to you. Whether it's like you guys are saying, your kids or your career and your kids, but
and
bring
the people
them
you
in
invest to have around you at the time.
Exactly, man.
To
All that
that's
stuff matters,
too, man.
All that stuff matters.
I didn't know that he moved around that much.
Yeah.
And had to be in different countries.
Yeah.
I mean, today New York, the next day he's trying to get to London. I'm like, yo, I mean, this is
crazy.
no man. This
and
man
in those days, to
much
travel
older.
like that?
No, that's tough. And you know, and so what did that cost you? You feel me? What did you lose out on? What did you miss? Did you miss something?
Yeah, for sure.
You missed something. There's no way. And I remember that Netflix, it may have been Netflix that had a special with, what's the young, Russell Simmons? And the way his life was moving.
Yeah.
And how often, you know, the number of phone calls he takes a day. He had to have a driver. His whole day was scheduled down to the second. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And so that causes issues in your life.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really decide what your goals are in life and what you're willing to sacrifice for those goals.
Can you become a victim of success?
Of course.
Can you try too hard?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you can be, because you might not know you're a victim in the process of it, but in the end, you're the victim.
So in essence, because of their success, that's the cost. They lose something.
Yep.
Now, can you just give me an example of being a victim of success? Like, in what way?
Like, just imagine everything. You know how they say, "Be careful what you wish for." Yeah. Like, that by itself tells you everything you need to know.
Careful what you wish for.
Gotcha.
You get into that position you've always wanted. You get the money that you always wanted.
What it costs.
And then you realize what was the cost. Maybe you weren't with your family. Maybe you lost the woman you loved. Maybe you don't have privacy anymore. You don't. You're in a different kind of cell.
That,
you know, like
that's a good point.
all kinds of shit, man. All kinds of shit. Look at Kanye. Like, I mean, look at
Oh
everything
my God,
he's dealing
the quality
with.
of his life. Oh my
That's a
goodness.
prime example right there. Huh?
Well, it's
That's
not.
all he ever wanted was success. And look at what
Look
it's
at what's
brought him.
costing.
Right, it's trapped.
What it's
I
costing.
truly believe that success is a drug, man.
Of course, it's a drug, man. It's
yeah.
all
So
it's
many
chemicals
highs.
in our bodies
Right,
that
endorphins.
we need to feed, you know, and we long for. It's insanity, man. That's why, like, you know how people be always talking about, like, oh, you gotta hustle like this. If you don't hustle like that, you ain't hustling.
No.
Like, listen, I tell people, be yourself.
Hustle your
how
way.
the fuck you want to hustle.
Hustle your way. Yeah.
Because you know, by comparison to this person and this person, oh, you ain't putting in the time I'm put. I don't give a fuck if I'm putting it in with my kids. I'm putting it in. If I want to sleep some more, that's my success.
Right.
Exactly.
Everybody's success is different. You know, it's up to you to determine what success looks like.
That's a good.
I mean,
point.
success could be having the leisure to kind of move around the way you
So
want to
send me
move
if you want
around.
to be in your fucking underwear watching cable fucking TV,
All
eating
day.
popcorn. That's your fucking. If you're happiest man doing that, that's
Right,
success.
you know what? That's my happiness right there.
bro.
Underwear and popcorn. You feel me?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm on that.
I mean, even
that
for me,
shit's
man,
good.
that quiet time, to get that quiet time. That quiet time is important. man.
Come on, man. That shit's special, man. How'd you know? Shit.
Victim of your own success.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's
So you
part of it.
gotta be careful what you wish for out there, really, man. You gotta truly know what you want out here in this
Or
life.
just be ready to
know?
adjust and pivot as you grow and evolve.
Well, there has to be some type of discipline that gets
It's hard
put
to-
into it
hard
before
to
you
put
get.
the two together. My man, it's hard to put the two together because success has its routine. There's a way to it. So sometimes people think, well, I could do something different to be successful. No, not necessarily.
Right.
This is the formula. This is the formula. You just hope that you can break free of it at some point. You feel me? The problem is when you're so damn good at it, no one lets you get away from it. Because when you do start to get away from it, they burden you with leaving it. You feel me?
Right.
It's like a LeBron James. What can he do more to prove how great he is? He got to beat Jordan. Damn. Who else y'all asking to beat Jordan out here, man? To beat Jordan, not